Everyone could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Present.
Trustee Caprio?
Present.
Trustee Rogers?
Present.
Trustee Sweet?
Present.
Trustee Maxey-Turkey?
Present.
Mayor Yukich?
Present. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Okay, we will move on. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of November 8th, 2017 Village Board meeting?
I so move.
Trustee Caprio?
I'll second.
Trustee Sweet? Discussion? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Maxey-Turkey?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Thank you. Next is reports and communications from the mayor and other officers. I'll start off. We had a meeting with Northern Will County Water Agency, and we have hired a consulting company to help us with the suit. They don't expect anything to move till sometime next year, so I really can't update anybody any other than what we found out, and it's still in the works. Construction updates. Phase 1 of the Heritage Park project is going smoothly. There 48% of the work has been completed to date. 90% of the earthwork, storm sewer, water main, and sanitary sewer has been installed. 65% of the aggregate road base and curb work has also been installed. With the winter months ahead, some minor work may take place while the majority of the work will be placed on hold throughout the winter months, with completion in 2018 of June. The Goodings Grove project has been completed. The 3.5-acre park is located in the northern terminus of Greystone Drive in the Goodings Grove subdivision. Amenities include a basketball court, shelter, playground, swing set, open play area, and walking area. This park development was funded in part through an open space lands acquisition and development program grant. A grand opening celebration is being planned for the summer of 2018. Sorry about that. The Goodings Grove extension to the Heroes Trail is complete and now open. This quarter-mile extension goes from the trail across Point at Pin Oak Drive, south of the Goodings Grove School. The trail also provides access to the Bell Road commercial corridor. This trail extension was funded in part through a congestion mitigation and open quality improvement program grant. Check out the updated map of the trail system on the village's website. There are also copies of the map at the table near the door. Our 2017 drainage improvement projects have been completed in the Meadowview and Chickasaw subdivisions for the acceptance of some final restoration work that will take place in the spring. Drainage improvements at the northwest corner of 151st Street and Will Cook Road are also complete. Work is 70% complete on the Erin Hills Drainage Improvement Project. Completion of that project will correct problems that have been occurring for over 15 years. Staff has already heard back from at least 2 residents where construction has taken place, and they are very happy with the project taking place. Work on the drainage improvement projects in the Woodbine and Wedgewood Highland subdivisions continue and is expected to be completed by the spring. Heroes Helping Heroes. Thank you to the Homer Glen EMA for assisting Northwest Homer Fire Protection District and the Will County Sheriff with the Heroes Helping Heroes program at Meyer. This program is sponsored by Meyer and assists veterans and their families at Christmas time. Thank you for the village's 11th annual tree lighting ceremony. So we want to thank everyone that came to the village's annual tree lighting ceremony on November 30th here at the Village Hall at Heritage Park. The 11th annual event was a huge success, and everyone enjoyed the holiday music from Homer Show Choir and a special visit from Santa. So thank you to all of the volunteers and those who attended the event. Recycle your holiday string lights. Now through January 31st, the Village Hall will have a box inside the lobby to collect holiday lights for recycling. Mini lights, extension cords, rope lights, and LED lights will be accepted. Lights can be in working or non-working condition. If you have any questions, please call the Village Hall at 708-301-0632. And with that, with Christmas coming, we want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, a very safe and happy New Year. Also want to thank all the volunteers that do help out this village immensely. I'd like to thank the village staff for all they do, and for my village board, which I am very fortunate to have. So, thank you. I'm set, so we'll go to the trustees. We'll start with Trustee Gray.
No report, Your Honor.
Thank you, Trustee Gray. Trustee Turkey.
No report.
Thank you. Trustee Rogers.
On behalf of public safety, we just want to take the month of December to remind people to have a designated driver whenever you're out at your holiday parties, and just be very conscious of who are drinking and driving, and lending a hand to those who they probably shouldn't take the keys to go home, and enjoy your holidays responsibly. And that's all.
Thank you, Trustee Rogers. Trustee Suisse.
No report today.
Thank you, Trustee Suisse. Trustee Caprio.
No report, Mayor. Merry Christmas to all.
Thank you, Trustee Caprio. Village Treasurer.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the Treasurer's Report of Cash and Investments at October 31, 2017. It's the 6th month of our new fiscal year. It shows the general fund with cash and investments of $5,604,558.06. The special event fund had a balance of $68,246.29. The environmental fund had a balance of $74,526.40. The MFT fund had a balance of $3,461,741.37. The Park and Recreation Fund had a balance of $3,411,120.17. Debt service had a balance of $3,088,293.07. And the Capital Project Fund had a balance of $1,070,488.10. The EAB Tree Replacement Fund had a cash and investment balance of $384,489.40. And the last fund, the Capital Project Bond Fund, had a balance of $14,859,347.55 for a grand total, all funds, $32,022,810.41. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, John. Does anyone have any questions?
Village Clerk.
No report.
Thank you. Village Attorney.
No report, Your Honor.
Thank you. Public Safety Officials. Come on up, Lieutenant.
Thank you, sir. Just a reminder to everybody, I know college students will be coming home soon, and remind your high school drivers to just slow it down. Take your time, be careful. We get an awful lot of traffic complaints, especially in our neighborhoods. So just a reminder to everybody to pay attention to the speed limit, take it easy, and even if you're running late, it's better to get there late than it is to get injured or get in a car accident. Other than that, it's been an absolute pleasure working with this board, with the mayor, and with the village to keep this community safe. So everybody have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thanks.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Village Manager.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Next is public comment. If you could keep to 3 minutes, it'd be wonderful. If you can't, we understand. Thank you. Gideon, do you want to wait till we get to that point, or do you want to come up now? And it's up to you.
Why don't I just go now?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Podium is yours.
I appreciate it. I did practice earlier, and this should be under 3 minutes. So good evening. My name is Gideon Bluestein. I work for the Illinois Realtors. You may be surprised to know, I was surprised when I looked it up, there's actually 158 Illinois realtors who live in the village of Homer Glen. Hopefully you did not get emails from all of them today. But the reason I'm here tonight, and the reason some of us showed up tonight, is because of proposed change to the building code, which would include a fire sprinkler mandate for single-family furnace rooms. It's my understanding from what I read on the agenda today, as well as duplexes and townhomes. So I'm lucky enough that I actually got to custom build a home a few years ago. My wife and I were able to put together the money to do this. And I can tell you from experience, the margins, one of the things that I learned, the margins are razor thin when you're building a house. In fact, I remember very clearly when we sat at our kitchen table in our little rental house with our builder, having to figure out what we were going to take out of our budget because the excavation bill came in at twice what the quote was. So, and I remember the feeling when we had that conversation, it was a little bit claustrophobic, and frankly it felt like this thing that I put so much time and effort into was falling apart. So this dream was falling apart. So without being overly dramatic, this is what a fire sprinkler mandate can truly do to a home buyer and a potential person who's going to build a home. This runs counter to positive moves that the village has undertaken in recent months to attract development. So there's two specific things I want to point out. You've lowered your impact fees. You've made them more accurate to reflect the market. This is huge. Thank you for doing that. You've also invested in water infrastructure. Another thing that I had heard from the building community and you heard and took action on. So thank you for doing that. This runs counter to that positive momentum that you've built. With regard to duplexes and townhomes, I don't know if you know this, I hear it all the time because I'm in realtor world. The highest demand among the two largest populations out there, seniors and millennials, is for high quality housing that has a lower footprint. But if you have a big sprinkler mandate on those homes, what is that going to do to the cost? How many potential buyers is that going to take out of the market for a duplex or for a townhome? With regard to the single-family homes, I know I've heard the argument mandating a single sprinkler head. It's not expensive, it's not a big deal, other communities do it. However, I just want to point out a couple of things. The first is, I looked this up on the way over here, NFPA, this is the National Fire Protection Association's own numbers, only 2% of all residential structure fires actually originate with the furnace. So you're saying, let's put a sprinkler head over a place where only 2% of the fires actually start, when, for much cheaper and just as effective, if not more effective, you can just have the hardwired smoke or carbon monoxide detector. The last thing in closing that I've been told is that we're simply continuing the policy that we've had on the books in the past. And I understand that. If it's not broke, don't fix it, right? However, I just want to remind you of those positive strides that you've taken to make sure that you're attracting residential and building investment to the community. And what message does this send if you're the one community in Will County that is having these types of mandates, right? So as a village, you've done a great job with transparency. Think about those 158 realtors who are residents. Please be responsive to them. And do know that when we've polled residents on this issue in other areas, they are very unpopular, the fire sprinkler mandates. You have a decision to make tonight, and the residents and future residents of Homer Glen are depending on you. Please don't force us to question if our dreams of home ownership can come true. So please remove that fire sprinkler mandate from the furnace room and from the duplexes and townhomes. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Glen. Glen McGarry?
Glen McGarry from the Homer Glen Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm just here to invite you personally. Our winter party and installation of officers has moved from November to January, so now it's like a calendar year. January 18th at Ruffled Feathers, and I hope we get to see you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Glen. Bob Schmidt?
First of all, good evening, everyone. It's nice to see all of you here. And our residents are in attendance. Thank you for coming. That's what to do. I'd like to take this opportunity, as most of your members know, I have served Homer Township and Homer Glen for a number of years. I don't want to tell you how many years, because it's up here. But one of the things I want to let you know, that my heart will always be with you. It will always remember how special all you are and how you all work for the community. I've served on various committees in the village, and I would like to be able to submit my resignation on the CED board this evening. I think it's appropriate. It's the end of the year, and it gives the mayor an opportunity to appoint someone to the board starting a new year. Let me check one moment. Unaccustomed as I am to, I always say this, public speaking, but you must know, in here and in here, my wife and I think we are the world's best, and none of us will ever be better than one another. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. We now go into legislation and action items. Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 17-066, an ordinance amending 83-68 of the Homer Glen Code, increasing the number of Class F liquor licenses issued within the village of Homer Glen? It is understood that a number of Class F liquor licenses, beer and wine, will increase by one.
I so move. Second.
Is there discussion? The liquor license that we're going to go into with next is for a wonderful place that had a grand opening tonight called Wow Sushi. I'm not a big fish eater, but this was a wow. The place was great, the food was good. Nice, clean place. So I hope that they do very wonderful. So I need a motion to increase it by one. Oh, so then we have this question. Me? All right, so could you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Suisse?
Aye.
Trustee Nancy Turkey?
Aye.
Motion carries. I'm so flustered. I'm going to miss you, but you still got to come around.
Who, me?
Yeah. Just don't disappear on us, that's all. 1B, is there a motion to approve ordinance number 17-067, an ordinance assigning an available Class F liquor license, beer and wine retail sales, to Wow Sushi of Homer Glen, Inc., DBA Wow Sushi, located at 14407 South Bell in Homer Glen, Illinois?
I so move.
Trustee Caprio?
Second.
Trustee Gray, discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Nancy Turkey?
Aye.
Trustee Suisse?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the attached proclamation declaring December 3rd, 2017 through December 3rd, 2018 as the Illinois Bicentennial Year in the Village of Homer Glen?
I so move.
Trustee Rogers,
Second.
Trustee Trichy, discussion? Let me read the proclamation. I lost my glasses tonight, so if I screw up, bear with me. What can I say? Whereas Sunday, December 3rd, 2017 marks Illinois' 199th birthday in Illinois. It became the 21st state in the Union on December 3rd, 1818. And whereas Illinois Bicentennial Year will be a year-long celebration between December 3rd, 2017 and December 3rd, 2018, which will be our state's 200th birthday. And whereas Illinois Bicentennial will remind us all that every day in Illinois, amazing things are born, built, and grown. And Illinois Bicentennial will honor the many ways that Illinois has influenced American history, achievement, culture, innovation, and more. And Illinois Bicentennial is a once-in-a-lifetime invitation to fall in love with Illinois all over again. And together we can inspire pride in Illinois and show the world that makes this state so great. And our community should encourage citizens, organizations, businesses, congregations, and culture, education institutions to participate in a year-long celebration by submitting applicants for endorsement of their events and projects by Illinois Bicentennial on the participate page at illinois200.com. Therefore, be it proclaimed that the Village of Homer Glen embraces the efforts of Illinois Bicentennial and encourages all citizens to participate and celebrate the upcoming year by visiting illinois200.com and using the hashtag #PoundIllinoisProud. Approved this 13th day of December 2017. So, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next, is there a motion to authorize a needs and schematic design assessment for the Village of Homer Glen's Emergency Management Agency Operations Building at a lump sum fee of $9,850 or $8,770 should the village wish to delete the code review services to determine if the basement is a viable area for EMA administration and communication functions.
I so move.
Trustee Gabriel,
Second.
Trustee Gray, discussion?
Yes, Mayor. As we mentioned in admin and finance, there was a consensus that we should eliminate any review of the basement due to the ceiling being too low, and that TRIA previously, in all their plans, stated that you could only use it for storage. So I think that would be a waste, having them look at that again. We have ADA issues. How would someone be able to get down there? The ceiling is too low, and then there are no restrooms there. So I think we should just go with the lower amount, and hopefully the manager can get that even a little bit lower.
I'd add that being 6'1" and being down there, I would agree with that ceiling. I banged my head on 2 pipes in my tour down there, so I agree. That would be money not well spent.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I agree with the same comments. As part of ANF, I would only ask that we ensure that the contractor, when hired, if hired, we don't seek I guess we need to make a decision tonight, but my assumption would be they have a space planner who can help us with that as well in that facility. But I understand this is for a longer longevity of time. So if that's what we're thinking, it's more futuristic and how we add to a future EMA building out here, because I'd love to see it built, then I'm fine with the 8770 or whatever that number is.
8,770.
Yeah. Just as mentioned in ANF, I think I mentioned it then, they should have a space planner that can help us with that, but I'll leave it up to staff and Mike as our manager to negotiate those dollars in hopes that we can save a little money, and let's do it as a not to exceed 87.7.
Fine with me. Just so you know that what we're trying to do is EMA is on the property now with 2 pole barns that we have. They also rent a building, which we want to stop paying rent. It's around $25,000 to $26,000 a year. and bring everything here. But the buildings that we have won't house some of the trucking. So we do need to put something up because one of them is not in good shape, the other one is in good shape, but you can't modify it. So we're just hiring someone to take a look at it and give us their options. So this way we spend as little as we have to. So Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Maxey-Turkey?
Are we voting on these? We're voting
We're
on that.
voting on
or
the
is it
8,700.
Change the motion, or?
No, the village manager is going to be the one executing it. You've given this direction, so.
Okay, aye.
I was thinking this, sorry.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers? Aye. Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 4, is there a motion to approve ordinance number 17-065, ordinance repealing and readopting subdivision regulations for the village of Homer Glen?
I so move.
Trustee Sweet?
A second.
Trustee Rogers? Discussion?
This is just housekeeping, basically.
Correct.
No major changes, just verbiage in consolidating some double language that was there. There were some redundancies throughout it, so it's just kind of consolidating it a bit and cleaning it up. No changes.
This will make it easy.
Exactly what-
Yeah, this will make it easier for everyone to read it without having to read a novel. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Maxey-Turkey? Aye. Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 5, is there a motion to approve ordinance number 17-068, an ordinance amending chapter 75 buildings of the code of the village of Homer Glen?
I so move.
Trustee Caprio?
I'll second.
Trustee Sweet, discussion?
Well, to address the concerns of the realtors that you saw today, there was some misinformation that was put out relative to us requiring all new homes to come out with fire sprinkler systems, and that's not the case. The case is we are changing nothing. Everything is still the same as it was from 2007. Our codes are very similar to Lockport. Lockport has the same thing. Very similar to Lamont. Lamont actually is a little bit more in that if you don't put the sprinkler by the furnace, you have to put a firewall. Or if you don't have the sprinkler in, if you don't have sprinklers in, duplexes or condos, you have to have a firewall, which is very expensive. I've built them in the past. So these sprinklers that are going in there are this, and correct me if I'm wrong, sprinklers that are going in there are the same sprinklers that we've always required. So we did at Public Safety talk about, do we want to have them in the garage? Because a lot of the fires that are happening in garages. And do we want to put it in by the dryers? Because we've had some dryer fires this year, and we thought, that is too much, because sprinklers can be expensive and costly. So this is nothing that's,
That's not new. We've
It's not
had many multifamily structures here built with full sprinkler systems in them that are required now. The actual individual sprinkler head that's required at the furnace runs about $150, and talking to builders, generally no big deal when we're out in the field.
And it doesn't have to have an RPZ on it.
right. I think like I said, it got blown out of proportion for some misinformation that was printed relative to it, having a home that needed sprinklers, and that obviously would put most people out of, like, I'm out. Can't
Right, so
build that.
We're comfortable in saying it's a misinterpretation, so you spoke very well.
No, it's not, I'm not speaking to that.
No,
Yeah, but the code that we're not adding anything more than what we've had in the past since 2007. Relative to not having a sprinkling system in condos or I can't imagine that. I can't, I watch the news a lot, and I'm just seeing these apartment buildings going up because, one person fell asleep and had a space heater, then went down, and now everybody's out. I can't imagine that. You can imagine, we've done a lot of property management. Imagine not having one unit that's not sprinkler.
We had 4 fires in the last month,
Yeah.
my company.
So it's,
Buildings.
and that is a life safety issue, for sure.
One of the changes we are making, though, is that we're requiring the contractor to honor their client's request for sprinklers.
Which is
Correct?
correct, and I believe the realtors are on board with that too, and reading some of their information. our contractors will offer it as an option to any potential home buyer. Not mandatory, just an option.
Right, if you wanted to have it, you know, there are some people who might want a sprinkler, then the builder has to put it in.
But that's
At the
buyer's
buyer's cost.
option.
Right, and at the buyer's cost. Right. It's not that they have to.
Correct.
And the sprinkler that we're talking about in the furnace, as Joe said, it's $150 sprinkler head, it's not the sprinkler.
Right, and I asked Joe today, the recent subdivision that was just finished out at 151st and Cedar.
Cedar Brook.
Thank you. I had asked him if those were required to have that sprinkler, and you did tell me that they were.
Since pre-2007, every home's been required to have one sprinkler head.
That's right.
Well, I do understand what you said, but I'm in agreement with having the one that, if it was me, I'd have it by the dryer. I don't think there's a lot of furnaces that blow up, but the dryers do catch on fire because people don't maintain them correctly. Yes, for the duplexes or townhomes, I lived in a condo that caught on fire. That fire spread 25 minutes and the whole building was engulfed. Didn't have any sprinklers in it. When they build houses, a lot of times they don't even put it, or the townhomes, they don't put a fire stopping roof. And this one just went through it real quick. And you hear about them a lot on the news, that in the middle of the night, someone's place caught on fire. They don't know it's on fire. By the time they do figure out, it's engulfed. So something as little as this, I think this is a no-brainer. We go ahead and put them in just by the furnace, and as for the townhouses and duplexes, you could have the best fire alarm and smoke alarm in the world. If it doesn't get into your unit until it's engulfed, it's too late. So I'm with it. You guys can decide. So we have a motion. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Nancy
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 6. Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 17-069, an ordinance authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the County of Will and the Village of Homer Glen to provide communication systems access to Will County's 800 megahertz countywide radio system?
So moved.
Trustee Caprio?
I'll second.
Trustee Suisse, discussion?
Maybe somebody could put this just in layman's term for.
I can do that. Will County upgraded all their equipment, and what they want is they want us to sign an agreement with them to use the equipment. But the beautiful thing is, it's no cost to the village. Before we were paying $2,400 a year to be part of it. Now they have a brand new system, we have brand new equipment too. We don't have to change any of the equipment, so this is a win-win for us. Like I said, there's no cost to us. We save $2,400 and we're in an up-to-date system.
I have one question in regards, it says in there, and I can't remember exactly what page it's on, it says that Will County can restrict how many people we have on their system. And I was just wondering, have you found any problems in the past where you've had too many people on, or you've gotten booted out of the system? Or anything like that?
No, we haven't had that problem in the past. We had enough radios for our organization in prior, so we've never had any issues with that before. So they have a lot of users on the system, and so.
The answer is no.
What?
The answer is no.
The answer is no, yeah. We've never had a problem.
Does that answer your question? Okay. Any other questions or concerns? Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet? Trustee Nancy
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, is there a motion to approve the attached 2018 meeting calendar for the Village Board, Plan Commission, and Village Committees?
So moved.
Trustee Gray,
I'll second.
Trustee Trachey, discussion? Madam Clerk, you want to call the roll, please?
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Nancy Turkey?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Motion carries. Next, is there a motion to approve pay estimate number 1 from Aries Inc. for the 2017 Drainage Improvement Project number 1, Aaron Hill Subdivision, in the amount of $75,147.30.
That's so moved.
Trustee Caprio,
I'll second.
Trustee Sweet, discussion.
Do we have an estimate on when it's going to be 100%?
They've got, the remaining work involves lining of a storm sewer, so it's a matter of ordering the storm sewer, or the lining. So it's probably going to be 30 to 60 days, somewhere in that window when it gets completed.
So close to the springtime because of the weather, or they can still...
It will be, they can do it in the winter, it'll be weather dependent, so they can do it as long as, I'm assuming there's no heavy snows, things of that nature.
Did I give you your answer? Any other questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Nancy Turkey?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Motion carries. And they are right now 70% done with it. So it's close. Next, is there a motion to approve pay estimate number 2 from Patrick Construction, Inc. for the 2017 Drainage Improvement Project number 2, various locations, in the amount of $182,081.70.
I so move.
Trustee Reese,
I'll second.
Trustee Rogers, discussion?
Did you move too quickly on that?
I think this is H9 for 75,000.
Yeah. I mean, you can swap them around.
Yeah, they're both the same company. We might get that next.
Can we do that? Yeah. We have a motion on each one.
Right, so we can go, all right. Well, 9 is different than 10.
Right, okay. We have a motion on 10.
Okay, so, all in favor? Roll call.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Wait, I'm sorry.
I'm going back to 9.
I understand, but who's
Do we have a
second?
second?
Trustee Rogers?
You,
Who first?
Sweet?
Carla.
Okay. There was just a long delay.
Yep, we're doing number 9, the 75,000?
No, it was number 10.
This is 10.
You read.
That way we don't have to step back. Told you, didn't have my glasses.
It's the same company, same project.
Yeah, two different amounts.
Okay, so... Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
And Trustee Nancy Turkey?
Aye.
Motion carries. Did you?
I don't think you called myself or...
Yeah, I got it.
Did you?
Yeah, you can Caprio first.
Aye.
And then they can
Aye.
go with the 9.
Well, number 10 is really tricky.
This is our first meeting. We'll be-
Good, we're starting over.
All right, so motion carries. We're going back to 9.
All right.
Is there a motion to approve pay estimate number 1 from Patrick Constructions, Inc. for 2017 drainage improvements, project number 2, including work in Woodbine, Meadowview, Chickasaw, Wedgewood Island subdivisions in the northwest corner of 151st Street and Will Cook Road, in the amount of $75,042.25.
That's so moved.
Trustee Caprio,
Second.
Trustee Gray, discussion. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Nancy Turkey?
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we're going to 11.
Yes.
Back on track. Is there a motion to approve pay estimate number 4 from Frank Barla and Sons Builders, Inc. for the Goodings Grove Park in the amount of $70,526.25.
I so move.
I'll second.
Trustee Squeeze, Trustee Trachey, discussion.
So where does this put them on the pay?
They're done. We actually are going to be holding some money back from them.
What is the whole deck?
We're determining that amount based on the work days, and we're getting some information from the manufacturers as far as lead time, things of that nature. Right now, the work has been completed 100%. The remaining amount that still has to be billed yet is $215,280.
So we still have that.
So we still have that outstanding.
Yeah, we're good with
looks very nice over there too. I was there just last week.
Yeah, the only thing that's left is just a punch list. Go ahead.
I just want to make sure we still had that in there.
This is the first payment, right? No, this is actually the fourth.
The sign looks really good too.
Yeah.
Okay, did we do a roll call? Too much hesitant, waiting too long. All right, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Maxey-Turkey?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Sluse? Aye. Trustee Cap?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, is there a motion to approve pay estimate number 3 from Austin Title Construction for Phase 1 of Heritage Park in the amount of $478,490.40?
I so move.
Caprio?
I'll second.
Trustee Suisse, discussion?
Are they still working or have they pulled up for the season?
There's.
For the most part, they're complete for the season. They might be doing a few things here and there, but I think for the most part, they're done for the season.
So we should probably see another bill for the spring?
Probably not. I mean, depending on, they could probably submit something, because usually they're a little bit in the, kind of in the back as far as, the work is completed and then they submit the bill. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot coming in though, if at any.
Does everybody have 12?
And that has to come before us if there is any.
Yeah.
You guys all have 12 in your packet?
I think we
Yeah,
don't
let's keep track of that.
No, I
If
don't.
anybody needs to do the backup, we've got you. We'll just pass them.
That's what we got. Boy, I'm glad I'm not the one school. Okay, Madam Clerk, we need to roll.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Suisse?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Maxey-Turkey?
Aye.
And Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 12, is there a motion? No, 13, yeah. Ooh. Is there any old business?
What'd you say? Oh, you need some glasses?
Is there any old business? Is there any new business? Is there a motion to adjourn? I so make it. I so ahead.
I'll second.
Trustee Caprio, Trustee Tracey, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting is adjourned.